Hello and welcome to The Discriminating Gamer, the board game review show that with its bureaucratic mentality terrified Franz Kafka as a child. My name is Cody. Well, Golem Arcana is a fantastic game that uses an app and has miniatures. Today we're going to take a look at a few of the expansions to Golem Arcana. Golem Arcana from Harebrained Schemes, of course, is the miniatures game that uses an app. Well, today we're going to take a look at 3 of the expansion packs for this great game. We're going to look at the Zykia and Urgle, the Conspire expansion, and we're going to look at the Zykia Heralds of the Great Weald expansion. Now, each of these expansions come with 3 figures, and each of these figures has unusual powers and abilities that each bring something new, different, and interesting to the game. So first of all, the Conspire Urgle expansion. Now, this is terrifying. These are skeletal figures. They're mean, they're menacing, and they bring to this real sense of death and darkness to the game. They have names like Hornblight, Plaguebringer, and Carrion Raptor. For instance, the Carrion Raptor is the big baddie of the expansion. He has something called Paralyzing Spines. And when he uses this, not only does he deal damage, but he also kind of takes away immediately movement from his target. It's a great way to pin an enemy in place and then just hammer on him. The Plaguebringer has a Necrotic Grasp attack, which actually reduces the armor strength of his opponents. And the Hornblight, he's a pretty bad little guy with a headbutt and a gore attack, both melee attacks. Now for the Zykia Conspire expansion, you've got the Wildwood Dryad. He's this expansion's big baddie. And he's got some cool things, including these vines that actually can reduce an opponent's accuracy for a time. You've got the Woodguard, who's got some pretty powerful melee attacks. And you've got little Bramblehorn, whose attacks can actually negate cover from his enemies. Now for Zykia, Heralds of the Great Weald expansion, and this one is really cool. Maybe my favorite of these 3 expansions so far. In this one, you've got Prowler, and Prowler's awesome. Among his attacks, he's got a spray that when he deals damage into another region, another square, it hits everybody, and that's very cool. You've got Earthfall, and this guy is a tank. He's got this giant balls on the end of his hands, and he is just pummeling, and he can do all sorts of things. He can affect cooldown abilities of other players and movement as well. He's massive. When you see him coming, you run. You outfit the right relic abilities with this guy, and he's just darn near invulnerable. Now, Little Nightshade is maybe my favorite new character from this set, because he doesn't have a traditional movement ability. Rather, he hangs back, he lingers, and whenever anybody else comes within about 4 spaces of his line of sight, instead of doing a conventional attack, he teleports to that square, and then he attacks there, and he kind of bounces around, and he's almost like a knight in chess, because he just kind of moves around. You never know exactly where he's going to pop up. He's got to have line of sight. It's got to be within, I think, 4 squares, but it's very, very cool. Now, Golem Arcana is just a fantastic game. I love this game. It's no secret. We reviewed it a few months back. You can check that out for a full review to see how to play this game there. But just speaking about these expansions, they're fun. Now, Golem Arcana is the kind of game, it's like, like Star Wars X-Wing miniatures. You buy the core set and you can have fun with it, but you really want to experience Golem Arcana, you need to pick up some of these expansions. And that way you can army build and you can create all sorts of fun and interesting adventures here. And it's just a great game, and it improves when you can build armies, when you can really get into finding what combinations work with what, and not only what golems you're fielding, but what relics you're putting with them, what knights you're putting them with them, and what ancient ones you're going to be utilizing in that game. So it's just There's so many combinations, and it's so much fun. Golem Arcana is fantastic. I love it. And, of course, I highly recommend picking up these expansions. Again, they're all good, the ones I've reviewed, but if you're only going to get one, I'd say go for the Zikia Heralds of the Great Weald. It's got some fun and really powerful abilities that I really, really enjoy. So the recommendation for the discriminating gamer for these Golem Arcana expansions is buy them!
I know I don't got what he got. All I'm asking is to just give me a shot. Give me one shot to show you what you've been missing, baby.
Thank you once again for joining us today on The Discriminating Gamer. As always, we ask you to please leave a comment for us on YouTube, on Board Game Geek, on our Facebook page, or on thediscriminatinggamer.com. We ask you to please like us on Facebook and subscribe to us on YouTube. We are The Discriminating Gamer. And am I going to play Golem Arcana again? You bet your app!
Please somebody help me on my feet again. And I don't know where I'm going, and I don't know where I've been. Please somebody help me on the solid ground. It's a long time, and I'll be dying. Once a year I wind up in the band.
I also learned that Justin comes from a mythical frozen realm called Canada.